one question that I have for both of you probably is, we've been through ages of technology and transition, right? Where there was no technology, agriculture was there, waste was still there. Then came probably the mobile phones, I would say. Then came the digital IoT scenario, and now the AI. So if I throw the biggest question that I have probably is, how do you see, Shekhar, if I start with you, in terms of waste management as a space? I know waste is very big as well. So what do you think are the changes that you have seen with the overall experience that you have from mobile transition to AI coming in now? How is the sector evolving, and what are the kind of changes that you are seeing in space?
Rarely do we all think of waste, though we all generate waste on an everyday basis. I think, places like Bangalore especially, the awareness about waste and being responsible about waste as the generator, right, has increased tremendously. And I must say that the middle class citizenry is the one that has been the thing behind it. So there's been a lot of change, but the inertia of the status quo is very high, because the status quo itself, changing status quo is always difficult, but status quo with vested interests is extremely difficult, right? And sometimes it violently reacts. Like my co-founder has been threatened with death, other co-founder has been beaten up, my trucks have been hijacked 45 times, my waste pickers get thrown into jail for no reason, right? So, but partly thanks to Swachh Bharat, the thing, though it was so ODF focused, unfortunately, there is a growing sense amongst citizenry that something needs to be done about waste, because it started affecting them on a daily basis. But the pace at which it's changing is still a problem. And that's because of what I call the vested interest, right? Because finally waste is a local body issue, urban local body or panchayat issue. It's not even a state level or a thing. So getting that to change has been extremely difficult. And waste, when it leaves your house, is actually becomes the property of the municipal corporation or the panchayat, right? So there is this whole thing of you have to get consent to even operate, right? Truly speaking, and there's still a lot of resistance to change at that government level because of the vested interests, right? But I feel that finally citizens are the ones who are going to make it happen, because their surroundings are getting affected, their health is getting affected, and I think it's finally going to be a citizen movement which is going to hold the governments accountable to change, because next to mobility, in my opinion, in wherever urbanization is happening, is going to be waste that is the problem. And it's actually started happening even at a rural level. If you go to most villages, on the side of the roads, you'll see so much plastic, right? Because there is no way that you can transport that waste economically to a recycling center, because polluter pays principle just doesn't work in India right now. Everyone's used to having it free, right? While the rest of the world pays hefty amounts for waste. So that's because end-to-end waste management is a negative value process, right? Somewhere you have to put money. As technology becomes better, as we are able to get better yields in terms of recycling or repurposing and so on, the costs of that will come down, but you will continue to have, someone has to pay either through tax or individual user fee or whatever for it to actually work well end-to-end. Right?
So what we talk about, where we work on, is what is popularly called organic, which is more spoken about, but today if you look at the numbers, less than 10% of our agricultural land is actually under this organic farming.
Quality of life is so many things. Quality of life is not just earning 3 times what you used to earn.
Food is impossible without people. We have done a design probably sitting in a conference hall in Delhi and hope that it would work in some remote village in some place. So it's a design issue that we are dealing with. Intuitively, women tend to connect to food, nutrition at a very deeper level as compared to men. Corporates default, but SHTs rarely default in their payments. But in spite of that, today it is very difficult for women to access substantial capital. Conventional agriculture is something that is to be dealt. Probably, I don't know, because there are people who do support the Green Revolution. Probably that was a timely intervention which was required. I don't know, I didn't exist then, so I don't want to really make comments about it.
The issue finally is it's, I mean, I'm sorry, but after 10 years I have realized that it all comes down to political will. I didn't have money. I got 1.5 crores from Shell and just jumped into it. I'm still burning cash, by the way. But today we have a biogas plant which makes 3 climate-friendly products. Today, Bangalore has gone back to a tender where 2 large corporations are going to come and manage waste on a tipping fee basis. A tipping fee means that the more waste that I take, all right, the better it is. There are technologies today, there are solutions today. We don't have to wait for, fancy technologies like chemical recycling, chemical this, chemical that. You can move the needle today, but just no political will.
In agriculture, there is no concept of waste. In proper agriculture,
Right.
There is nothing like waste. Everything is integrated. There are opportunities in waste. There are opportunities in creating that waste. So, agriculture per se, the kind of agriculture we talk about, at the farm level, there's no waste. I think urbanites should be thankful to the farmers. They are not just growing food for you, but also trying to take back your waste. But I think we haven't reached with the appropriate tech tool. And that I still don't know if appropriate tech tools exist to actually reach to the last mile and be helpful for them.
We always keep looking for tech to be disruptive of a sector and change it totally. Yes, but always disruptive tech and disruptive solutions are few and far between. Right? Go see what they can do and then do that app. We actually asked the waste pickers to vote whether we should start the company because we didn't want them to see as if we are going to compete with them. It was only after they said yes that we started the company. The so-called inorganic dry waste that you put the last I knew was it has to be sorted into 176 categories before it can actually be recycled. If I can put whatever waste into a thing, it scans it, says whether it's recyclable or not recyclable, whether it's paper, plastic, and then pushes it into the right bin or opens the right bin, right? So that it takes away the decision from you. AI has made writing an email easier, right? Grammatically correct, context specific email easier. So can I do the same for a waste picker? I mean, if she scans something, is it of value or not of value? Is it recyclable or not recyclable?
Why should I play my role? What can be the motivating factors for me to produce minimal waste, to segregate waste, assuming that the system works?
It's always what's in it for me, right? We have lost a culture of being responsible and accountable, right, for others around you, for the environment around you. The question you have to ask yourself is, what is the world that you're going to leave your children, truly speaking?
The ecosystem unfortunately only works when I think there is something for someone in that.
Wash the Dabba campaign was just simply, when you get your Zomato delivery, you eat it, please take out the food waste, rinse it, and then send it, because some waste picker otherwise has to do that. How difficult it is for a waste worker to sort, how difficult it is to manage organic wet waste, right? So 14 hours after you generate the food waste, mercapitans start, which is what gives you that volatile organic compounds which make the smell, right? So I have to try and do everything within 14 hours, because otherwise it starts smelling.
Designing campaigns for the younger generation is actually getting quite challenging.
Very challenging.
Try scaling without using plastic. You can't. With food, it's very difficult to scale without plastic. We cannot grow or deliver food in 10 minutes. Honestly, it's not possible at all.
Don't make tech become a barrier to mobility, upward mobility. Make it an enabler. Technology should enable mobility rather than become a barrier. Our generation, I think, has screwed up the world for you guys. Now you guys better figure out a way to fix it.